Hey, what's going on, everybody? Super stoked to show you guys something that I've been working on for a while now. For years, I have been doing many different things to track performance analytics, review my trades, and to journal to improve my trading. I've had ways that were just not efficient enough, took me way too much time. I've tried methods that were just way too yeah, I guess lean, didn't give me the information that I needed, and everything in between. And I finally decided to just build something out myself that is going to have everything that I need, but also be fully customizable for a lot of other people out there. So without further ado, here we have Waypoint. This is Waypoint, the trading journal. Spent a lot of time working on this, so I can't wait to give you guys a kind of full walkthrough on all the features and how you can utilize this to not only do your metrics and tracking of your trades, but also to track mindset, your market outlook, and everything in between, while also utilizing AI to make sense of all this information. So here we have a test account. It's not my actual account, just so you guys know. And we'll go through and just kind of show you everything. So the main goal of this is to make things efficient, but also to log enough information that's also effective. So the first thing on the top left over here, you're going to see you can have more than one portfolio. Say you have a margin account, maybe you have an IRA account, maybe you're trading for family and friends. You can manage unlimited accounts over here, and this way all those accounts and the data and the trades, stay separate. On the left here, you're going to have all these different tabs, and this is going to be all the areas that you're going to utilize the application. So first off, let's just talk about how you're getting your trades in here. You're going to come into trade log, and as of right now, we're in the beta right now. You can just import your trades via a CSV file. So your brokers provide these for all your transactions. You download that file. Here is a sample file just to make sure that the format kind of makes sense, but I personally use Schwab and it works perfectly. And then you basically go through this, download, and it will import all of your trades, all of your withdrawals, your deposits, margin, margin interest, regular interest. Everything will kind of be all imported so that everything logs properly. And then in the back end is where all the kind of magic happens. All the calculations, all the basically reviewing and looking up of different prices and things, how things close. So you can see peaks and valleys, all done on the back end. All you need to do is actually just import those trades. We are working on a way to have broker integration. That's going to be coming in the future. But for right now, this works, and it works very well. All right, so let's get started with the dashboard. This is essentially where you're going to get that high-level overview of everything that is going on in your trading. All of this is basically the right now included widgets that you can use to build out your dashboard. This is all customizable, so you can add and remove any of them, so you don't have to have everything. And they are also customizable in a way that you can resize and move things around to basically be organized and show things however it is that you want. So just to highlight a couple things, obviously you have your basic stuff, right? Your net P&L dollar amount. Here, let's reset this so you guys can see everything. Your net P&L dollar amount, net P&L percentage, your win rate, profit factor, average wins, average losses. A couple things that I really like that I didn't see in a lot of things is your current drawdown, your max drawdown. This will look at historically, including your open trades, like your open P&L, not necessarily, sorry, your unrealized gains as well as your realized gains, to see where your peak was and what your max drawdown was from that peak, or where you are currently from that peak. And this is definitely something good that I like to monitor to make sure that I'm not falling too far off of those unrealized peaks and going through maybe a batch of some bad trading or making some poor decisions. You can see, you can look at the trades best impact percentage. This is looking at your actual impact on the portfolio, not just the trade in itself. Then you have the best and worst trades, return on investment, and the dollar amount wins and losses. So lots of different ways to look at things. What's cool about this is you kind of click here, bring it right to the trade and all the transactions. A couple other cool things in here. You have your equity curve. Like I said, just by putting in your transactions, the equity curve will be built, and it is very, very accurate. You can actually compare it to your broker's balance statements and see that it is within like a penny of what it is that it's just like a rounding thing, but within a penny, seeing the exact equity curve throughout the year. Trade outcomes, showing your wins, losses, and it also built in a break even. So if you're up 1% or down 1%, that gets washed out. This way you're not mudding up your data with those scratch trades. This is pretty cool, tilt breaker. So when you have a certain number of losses in a row, this will light up and show red. So as you see, this account hit 10 losses in a row. It's now red, and you can control that right in here. So if we were to crank that up, you would see that's how it would show normally. So giving you a nice big bright alert to show you that you have now gone on tilt and should probably take a break from trading. We have a notepad in here, so you can kind of just take notes. A checklist that you can build things out here. You can change the name of it. You can add different tasks into there. And then these two, which are really cool. This is your daily and weekly routines. So if you like to have a checklist for your daily and weekly routines, you can fill this all out. And what's nice is the daily routine, even after you check stuff off, at midnight, all the things that are in your daily routine will reset unchecked. So you don't have to keep unchecking or resetting this every single day. It'll show you how much you've done. And then your weekly routine, that'll reset every single Sunday night at midnight. So you can build out your routines, check everything off, and then it'll automatically uncheck everything so you're ready to go for the next day or the next week. But yeah, this is right now all the widgets that we have, just to give everybody what I think is some of the most important information when looking at your trading. Now, next up, we're talking Risk Manager. Another big place that I think a lot of people forget to kind of look at in terms of just their overall reviewing of how they're trading is where they're at currently in terms of risk. So what's built in here is not only is it going to show you the metrics that you see up here, right? But you're looking at your unrealized P&L. How much is actually out there? And percentage-wise, are you up on that unrealized gains with your open positions? You'll also see portfolio heat. What this means is, based on the current stops that you have, how much risk is your portfolio at in terms of percentage? So if we were to come down here, right, we look at this 5 trade, and this you can update to the current prices here, and you can see you have 2 different stops. You have your initial stop, which is right here. So if we were to put this in here, my initial stop, let's just say it was 160. And then now maybe my current stop, I moved it up to 170 maybe, or 175. What you'll see is that right at the initial stop where my current R, where I'm at from the current price, so 2.3 R from my initial stop. And then now my current stop, I'm actually at 0 risk because this would be a break-even trade. Now, if I was to drop this back down to my initial stop, you'd see that the risk was a 1.6% risk to my total portfolio. So giving you an idea of just how much risk you have out in the market and being really on top of that, I think is extremely, extremely important. You have this new sandbox trade. This is a way for you to basically figure out your position sizing, look at your stops, and the, again, risks that you're putting on each trade. You just fill this all out. You can put in anything. We'll just do 5 right now again. You get quote. It'll give you a price. And for a lot of these, you can kind of have this stuff all pre-formatted, and it just spits out how many shares you should buy, what's the actual risk, R multiples. So if I was to change this to 20, you'd see that's a 4R trade. If I was to increase my stop, you'll see the shares go down because of my risk. If I was to increase my risk, you'll see that kind of adjust. So real quick and easy way to just plan out trades, which I think is really useful. So this is kind of where we're at now. This upper part right here too, also, you know, you can take things on and off, and you can customize how everything is laid out as well. Then you have your trade logs. So another really big pain point for me is when you're going through your broker and you're going through your transactions. Things are shown in just individual transactions. For me personally, I like to look at my trades in the bigger macro trade. I will have sometimes my initial buy, I'll have add-on buys, I'll have profit taking points, trimming points, and all different transactions that account for the bigger macro trade from my initial buy to my final closing out of that position and sell. And that can get kind of annoying to just go through, track everything, have it all in a row and just a quick and easy place. Sometimes you have to sort your broker by stock ticker and then go through each trade, and it just makes it a little bit of a mess. So this application has the logic to group things in order from when you open the position to when you close them, and that's what these campaigns are. So all these trades are grouped from the initial open to the final close of that position. Works for shorts, works for longs, doesn't matter what it is. And then you can also, if you do want to just look at it through the micro trades, you can do that. Click that micro trades. What I also have in here is, again, being aware of how big these positions are, the overall risk and impact of a trade on your total equity is you got two things. You have your entry weight, which is the percentage of your total equity on that entry of the position, and then the peak weight. So if you do add on, you'll see that it increases and shows you that peak weight has increased to a peak of 26.7% on this trade. And then again, P&L percent for that trade, and then also the impact on the portfolio for that trade. So I think this is one of those things that just gives you a really good full total insight into your trading and your risk with a lot of these metrics. You can see when you open these up, it'll kind of show all this stuff out. Now, one of the things you'll see, right, set up, sell rules, notes, all these things. So you can enter trades manually as well. And you can also edit your imported trades to add this stuff. But you'll see you have setups and sell rules. So you can tag things very easily with the setup that caused you to buy it or the reason that you sold it. And I said, this is just what's in here now. You can actually, and I'll show you where you can add all of these custom, and they'll all be saved in this drop down. And then type of trade, just swing, day, scalp, position, especially for those people that are like myself that swing trade and position trade, depending on the environment. Helps you kind of keep track of things and label. You type in your notes, and then you can also add in screenshots right here, which will also save. So again, if you have a trade that you imported, you can come in here, and now you can just make all those edits. So while we're on that topic, I'll show you where you can add those. If you go into settings and you kind of scroll down, you can see manage setups, and I can add anything. I could just put something called profit taking. Excuse me. I could put flat base. Really, whatever it is that you want to put that is a tag for the setup or the reason why you're buying or selling a stock. All right. That pretty much covers the whole importing of trades. You'll see on all of these, and I didn't mention it, there's time frames. So you can look at year to date. You can look at all 6 months, 1 month, 1 week, custom. So when you're doing your quarterly reviews, if you're having a rough week or a rough month, you could really hone in on that data very quickly and easily. Or maybe there's just like a time period that you want to see where the market was behaving poorly and you want to just see how you were trading in the past. Easily access that. Risk manager is obviously current, so that's not going to be there. But in here, you can easily click and go through all of this stuff right here. There are advanced filters, so you can search all your wins, all your losses, long, shorts, opens. This stuff we'll talk about with the grades. But setups, you can look at only a certain type of setup and all these sort of things. P&Ls, all that thing. You can even keyword search your notes. So if there's something that you type in your notes that you want to search and see and try to find a trade that you remember, I bought this because it was a AI play. You can just type in AI and see all those, and obviously search by ticker. So went through a lot of trial and error and really building this out to give as much detail as possible to make this really, really effective and useful for all different use cases. Now, when you're done, right, you finish up a trade, you got to review that trade. So that's what this trade debrief is. So what you'll see right here, as an example, I have this closed out trade, and it shows it as pending. That means that it's not reviewed. And then you'll see there's archived. This means they were reviewed. So this for number one, I believe is very good to keeping you on top of your reviews and not letting them build up and then having to do all of them at the end of the year. It basically flashes right in your face and says you did not review this trade, and you should be reviewing it. So you can come in here, click, and here is your kind of after action report. Right here, it's going to be giving you everything you need. You have your basically your entry rate, your peak weight, account impact, total P&L. You have all your transactions, any of those tags, any of those notes. All those are kind of expandable too. So if you have notes, you can click and see those. All your screenshots that you may have put in on any of these will all come up down here. And then what I like to do is just bring up my charting platform, which for me, I use Deepvue. And yeah, basically just go through my trade. What I can do here is I can give a quick grade, A, B, C, D, F. Pretty simple. Didn't want to get that too complicated with numbers and everything. I think that's pretty easy to kind of be able to quickly grade something. And then you have what I did right, what I did wrong. This is just for a real quick way to keep track of things maybe that you want to track. Maybe you have trouble with improper position sizing. So when you do have proper position size, you want to reward yourself and acknowledge that you did that. Maybe you aren't cutting your losses quickly. Anything that you really want to keep track of as a tag, you can put in right here. And same thing as a weakness, just for those same reasons. Anything you want to track creates a quick tag. They all show up down here. You can quickly just click, and it basically logs that as what I did right, what I did wrong. With these, like I said, and you might have saw before, those are also in your custom debrief tags right here, where you can type anything that you want, add it, and it will show up in that area as a custom debrief. Here's your captain's log, as I like to call it, to keep with the theme, but type out just in plain language anything that you want to talk about with that trade, and then you can add up to 4 screenshots. And once you're done with that, you hit complete trade, debrief, boom, you're on course. Everything's all clear. It's now in the archived. And you can come in here and you can add and edit things. So just because it's over here doesn't mean that you have to focus on that. You could sort all these by dollar amount P&L, percentage amount P&L. There is a kind of filtering system, very, very in-depth for all your tags and everything. So you could focus, maybe I want to see all the trades or at proper position sizing or whatever it may be. So you can do all that with that advanced filtering. And if you're asking, hey, what if I'm importing, right? I'm importing all my trades, but I already reviewed these from the last 2 years. And now I'm going to have all these pending logs. If you didn't see before, it said acknowledge all. You hit that and it'll just automatically archive everything in here. So you don't have to go and sit and do each one individually. So the next 2 big pieces of this is from the journaling aspect. For myself, I do pay attention to the overall market trend. It's very important to me. So I have my overall market outlook journal. And every single day I can come in here. I can determine what I think the overall market trend is. I can click here to to select what I believe is good exposure for the current market. And then I can type in and write up what my analysis is, whatever it may be. I also have a voice button here. So you can click that. You can just straight up talk. It'll transcribe everything. And you don't even have to sit there and type everything out. You can just talk plain language about how you're feeling about the overall market. Everything will save down here. As you've seen, there's kind of filters for everything. So you can go and look back at your past data. But yeah, I think this is a really good method. You can go into the past, log some stuff. And then what I like, just to keep myself motivated, it will keep a look at the streak of your entries. So every open market day, excluding holidays, excluding weekends, if you put a journal entry in, it will give you that day. And it'll keep track of how long you've been doing that streak for. Then you have your mindset journal. So with this, and again, you don't have to use all of this stuff. It's just available to you. Also have the streak here. And I do like keeping a detailed mindset journal. So you don't have to enter every single one. You can keep them simple, post-market, pre-market, whatever you want to do. You can do one entry and that in one section and that's it, or you can use it all. You have pre-market, intraday, and post-market. This is letting the AI know when these thoughts came into your mind, and how you were doing to help better analyze how your mindset's going through the trading days and through the market. Each one of these will log differently for that day. Then you have a quick, just how you're feeling: great, good, general, neutral, bad, terrible. And then you also have your personal life. So this is good, where you can log, maybe you're really stressed out with work, maybe you haven't been sleeping well, maybe you're sick, maybe you're feeling great because you just came back from vacation and you feel really refreshed. Whatever it may be, you can log that all in here. And then trading life, this is just to focus on things going on in your trading. Also have your voice, so you can just talk in, which for me, this is really great. Let's say I'm driving, and it's pre-market and I feel some uneasiness. I'm feeling maybe FOMO because I'm not really trading right now. I'm trying to be a little more patient, but I see people posting that they got winning trades and I'm starting to feel that FOMO. I could just come in here and on my phone, I'll hit tap, start talking as I'm driving. Hey, I'm feeling FOMO because I see people winning trades and I'm trying to prevent myself from over trading right now. And it'll log all that in there. Same thing, come in here. You can go through, search, filter, all that kind of stuff to look at past journal entries. So where the magic kind of all happens with everything is this AI coach. So what this does is it looks at everything that is entered in here, all of those metrics. To prevent things from being extremely slow, you would come in here and select the time frame, and then what it is that you actually want to look at. So it's not having to go through all the data and bog things down. You sit here for a minute or two while it's doing everything. You click everything, you type in what it is that you want to ask it to analyze, and it will look through all this data and analyze it and basically spit back at you whatever it is that you're looking for. So with that, integrated in here is your trading rules. This is where you would dump your trading rules. If you don't have your trading rules written out, you should have them written out. So you should be copying and pasting those, putting them here, and this gives the AI coach an understanding of how you trade, your setups, your rules, your risk management, the style, whatever it is, however you want to define your trading rules and your trading style, giving the AI coach some understanding of how you trade so it can better analyze your data. While we're in settings, you'll see there's a light and a dark mode, so you get a little feel for the light mode. Not a big fan of light mode, but if you are, there you go. If you're in public, or maybe you're somebody who streams and you don't want to show dollar amounts, you want to just show your percentages, then you have not only up here in the top right, the privacy mode, but it's also here in your settings. Here is where you'll add your accounts. You'll see that you have the ability for cash, standard margin, and day trading accounts. If I know most people don't have commissions per trade, but if for some reason you do, you could also enter that in there. Here you can manually add any sort of deposits or withdrawals. But again, if you're pulling those from your brokers, it'll happen automatically. Here's where you manage your setups, your custom debriefs, your trading rules. Now here's your AI configuration. So one of the things, there are tools out there that do stuff similar, but they're very expensive. And from my research, the majority of that expense comes with the tying in of an AI model, and the tokens and the actual owner of the application basically protecting themselves from having a ridiculous bill from Google or OpenAI for tons and tons of queries. Maybe one person's just going crazy and putting in a lot of different prompts and driving the bill up. That's where that cost comes from, a lot of these tools. However, Google, OpenAI, a lot of these do give out free API keys where all you do is create an account. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's completely free and you get an API key. So in order to keep the price down for everybody and make this something that's accessible to even the most brand new trader who barely has anything in their account, this is where you would come in. You'd go to Google. You can click here. It'll bring you right to where you can get the free Gemini key, which is one of the easier ones to get. Generate a key, paste in here, and now you have the whole AI ability without me having to make this an expensive tool for everybody, keeping the cost down for everyone. Another thing, I know there are some people that are like, well, what if I use this for a year and decide I don't want to use it or find something better? And I spent all this time journaling and now all my data is locked in your application. Not true at all. You can export your trade history, you can export your journals, you can export your market outlook, your debriefs. Everything can be completely exported to a CSV file so you don't lose any of your data. And then down here, this is just some maintenance stuff where if in for rare instances something just doesn't line up because of a weird thing, these tools will kind of help you fix that. Lastly, help section. This is your getting started, step-by-step guide to how to set everything up. Glossary, explaining all the different kind of terms and things in here, especially for the newer traders so they know what these things mean. Some random facts and questions. And then the AI support. So because you have your AI tied into it, you can use this as a help center. Basically help you to understand how to use the application to the best of your abilities. And then obviously you have your kind of thing here. This is just a placeholder. That's not right now what's going on in terms of pricing, but that's your placeholder. All right. So yeah, that's what we got. This is the application. I hope everybody is stoked for me to get this out and out of beta testing so everybody can start utilizing it. I really do think that this is a full in-depth trading journal without being so cumbersome and a lot of things being done automatically that you're not sitting here spending so much time in your journal. Realistically, you're coming in here, you're doing some quick journaling at the end of the day. It doesn't even have to be a lot. You pop into your risk manager, update any initial stops or anything like that. If you have new trades, you could just simply, let's say you have 2 new trades. You don't even have to sit there and type everything in. You could download the file from your broker, dump it in to your import trades, and it'll log everything. And then you can just go into those actual trades quickly, edit a couple things, throw some notes, and if you want to throw a screenshot. So making a lot of the tedious tasks of like typing in data, copying, pasting, having 2 screens and going back and forth, making that a lot simpler, while also making sure that you are getting all the information that you need. This is just the start. This is going to continue to grow and get better over time. If there is something that you think would be a good add-on to this, please let me know. But yeah, I'm hoping you guys are stoked to try this out, as I was when I first finally got it all put together and said, all right, let's see how this works. So in terms of the release, it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a couple of weeks. Like I said, want to make sure when this goes out, it works completely perfectly for everybody before I have a bunch of people logging on here trying to use it. So a couple other things I got to get logistics-wise done. And yeah. So stay tuned. You know where I'm at. Follow me on everything. And once it's all released, you guys will know. That's all I got. I appreciate everybody spending some time. If you don't know, there's all my contact information. Feel free to reach out. And yeah, as always, stay disciplined.